Hello, this is David. I want to do a video today, have a little bit of fun. This video is going to be on the famous son of Brigham Young, who was the prophet of the Mormon Church and the governor of the state of Utah for years and years. I think Brigham had 50, he had 50 some wives. I don't know how many children he had, but I had AI do a little research here. And you know, me and AI, we have a little fun. So I want to have Sister Patterini give you some information. Read your last answer.
Brigham Morris Young, one of Brigham Young's many children, led a fascinating dual life as a committed Mormon and a celebrated cross-dressing performer. Under the stage name Madame Patterini, he entertained Salt Lake City audiences from 1885 to the early 1900s. His act was notable for his ability to sing in a convincing soprano, with many audience members unaware that the elegant woman before them was actually the son of the second president of the LDS Church. Madame Patterini's performances took place at the Salt Lake Theater, one of the most significant cultural venues in early Utah. While little is recorded about ticket prices for his performances, his act was well received by local audiences. Unlike the modern-day controversies that might arise around gender expression, Young's performances were framed as theatrical entertainment, and there is no record of opposition from LDS leaders. Despite his on-stage persona, Brigham Morris Young remained deeply involved in the Mormon Church. He served multiple LDS missions, including one to the Hawaiian Islands, and later helped found the Young Men's Mutual Improvement Association, YMMIA, a youth organization within the church. His strong church ties, marriage to Armida Snow, daughter of LDS President Lorenzo Snow, and his role as a father to 10 children suggest that his public performances were seen as artistic rather than a challenge to the religious norms of the time. Madame Patterini's legacy highlights the complex cultural environment of 19th century Salt Lake City, where theatrical performance, including cross-dressing, coexisted with the conservative teachings of Mormonism. Brigham Morris Young's ability to balance both worlds makes his story one of the most unusual and compelling among Brigham Young's descendants.
It's all I can do, just not to laugh and laugh and laugh. These hypocrites. I thought my children embarrassed me. I don't have a cross-dresser. I can't believe it. I bet none of you have ever heard that. I bet none of you have ever heard that Brigham Young had a cross-dressing, theatrical singing Miss Patterini that people didn't even know when he was on stage that he was a male. So cross-dressing, I don't know. If you're lesbian, you can't go to the temple. If you're homosexual, you can't go to the temple. If you're a transgender, you can't go to the temple. But I don't know what the handbook says about cross-dressing. This is insanity. If this wasn't funny, it would be so sad. This man, can he get a temple recommend today in the Mormon Church? Could they say, he went on, he had 10 children. He went on several missions, one of them to Hawaii. Basically, it sounded like, according to AI, he was active in the Mormon Church. And of course, Lorenzo Snow is the guy that came up with tithing. The Mormon Church was nearly bankrupt. And Lorenzo Snow got a revelation to get tithing, and now they're all going to jail for, hiding all of the billions of dollars that they've hidden from the government. But anyway, this cross-dresser basically married one of Lorenzo Snow's daughter. So I don't know. I don't know about incest. I don't know about nepotism. I don't know about cross-dressing. Now, let me ask you this. Now, I'm just trying to be reasonable here. And you know me, I'm never reasonable. This guy has his makeup on, his wig, his lipstick, his nails are done, he has his dress on, and of course it's modest, it covers his shoulders, he's got his high heels on, and his pantyhose. These days, girls don't wear pantyhose anymore. Anyway, he goes in with his wife to the bishop to get a temple recommend. And so he's dressing there. His hair looks good. I mean, he had it down and did curls to it, and he looks good because no one can tell. He's so feminine looking that you can't tell if he's a man or a woman. Now, he goes in for a temple recommend interview with his bishop. And basically, the bishop asks him all the questions. And basically, he answers the questions to get a temple recommend. Now, when he went on his mission, could he dress in his dress on his mission? When he went to the temple that his father built there, the one that they've got up on stilts now in Salt Lake City with billions of dollars being spent so the Lord won't blow it down in an earthquake or a storm. Can this guy dress in his women's cross-dressing clothing and get a temple recommend? He could then. Oh, but see, now maybe there's new revelations. You know, Nielsen, Hinckley, all of them get new revelations all the time. Usually, Jesus is saying to them in a new revelation, "You're breaking the law. You're going to go to jail." And they get a new revelation that blacks can have the priesthood. Don't do polygamy, marriage, same-sex marriage. They always get revelations from Jesus, and he always tells them, "You're breaking the law. You're breaking the law." I think this is hilarious. The Mormon church, and I've told you 2 or 3 times, I have a daughter who's a lesbian. Yeah, I have a daughter who's a lesbian who is a staff sergeant in the United States Army on a NATO base protecting your ass and my ass. The Mormon church hates her because she married her partner and they love each other. They're having a good life. The Mormon church hates her. So the Mormon church won't let my lesbian daughter go to the temple. But if one of my sons wants to be a cross-dresser and then go on stage every week, every night for years and years, pretending to be a woman, and no one can tell that he's male. He sings falsetto. I guess that's the high pitch, singing like an opera singer. And the people line up, and they pay money to go to the famous theaters. We've had several famous theaters here in Salt Lake City. I don't think they introduced him as the son of Brigham Young. Welcome. Jesus. Can he wear his dress to go to the temple? Can he wear his dress to basically go on several missions? Or does he have to wear the suit, the tie? If this is not, I can say this now on YouTube. I used to work construction, and I have 2 or 3 languages. I'm multilingual, and this is my construction language. We used to call this kind of a thing a clusterfuck. That's where everybody is there, and they're just all screwing each other. How can the Mormon church have any kind of integrity discriminating against people who are openly gay, lesbian, transgender, when the prophet of the Mormon church, one of the main ones, allowed his son to be deceptive? Oh, did Brigham Young go to General Conference and say, cross-dressers are not allowed in the temple, and my son is a cross-dresser? What hypocrisy. What hypocrisy. They won't let my lesbian daughter, who tells the truth, who says what her sexual orientation is, she can't go to the temple. But Brigham Young's kid can go to the temple in a dress. He can go on a mission, several missions. Not just one mission, several missions. One to Hawaii. I don't know. Did he do the hula in Hawaii with his costume? I don't know. But damn, I know this. I know shit when I see it, when I smell it, and when it's in my life. This is more than comedy. Saturday Night Live could not be this funny. There isn't a Laurel and Hardy. There's not a Three Stooges. There's not George Carlin, uh, Cosby, Bill Cosby. Nobody is as funny as this. This is funny shit. All you've got to do is go to AI and say, tell me something stupid about the Mormon Church. There's lots of content. There's lots of content. It's right there. So I think I'm going to, I may get into my wife's closet. Now, she only weighs 115 pounds, 110, and I'm pushing 300 again. I might be able to squeeze into one of her dresses if I jump off the balcony and jump into it on the ground floor. Maybe I should follow the prophet. Follow the prophet. They'll never lead you wrong. They'll just steal your money. They'll hide their cross-dressing sons. They'll call them on a mission. They'll let them marry the other Mormon prophets. Nepotism and incest. It goes on and on, folks. I don't know how you can be a member and not feel the shame and the stupidness. I don't prove the church anymore, whether it's true or not true. There's a lot of podcasts, John Dehlin and Mormon Stories and Nemo, and there's many others, and that's their forte. They're continuing to prove the Mormon Church isn't true. I basically hung my hat on this. By their fruits, ye shall know them. Now, see, I'm laughing because the idea came to me, and when it came out of my mouth, Brigham Young had a fruit. I didn't think of that. Brigham Young had a son who was the fruit. But he had temple recommends. He had 10 children. He married the daughter of another prophet. He went on missions, and one of them was to Hawaii. He made lots of money in theater. I don't think he had a job. It reminds me of Gordon B. Hinckley. Hinckley, the prophet, never had a job. He worked for the railroad for 5 or 6 months or something once when he was young. And the rest of the time, he just took the money from you and me, our tithing and our fast offerings, and his $200,000, it wasn't that much then, but it is now, $200,000 stipend, his living allowance. These people, you can't write this. You cannot make this shit up. To have Brigham Young's cross-dressing son make a living. Now, maybe he had another job. Maybe he was a quasi-Jesus. Maybe he was a carpenter on the side. I don't know. But, if you're in the theater, you're going to be there, 3-5 days a week. And AI said he was there for many, many years. I thought she said decades. That he was a very famous cross-dresser and singer. And no one knew he was a cross-dresser. They all thought he was a woman. I just found this to be entertaining this morning. I thought it to be hilarious that I remember this story. But AI now is brilliant. She can pull all this stupid shit together. Back in the old days, it was very hard. But anyway, I just wanted to have a little fun. I don't know if you're a bishop or a stake president. Many of them watch my program. And maybe you should go to the handbook and look up cross-dressing men. See if they can get temple recommends. See if they can attend the temple. And when they get to a session, do they have to sit on the men's side or the woman's side or where the transgenders sit? In the middle? I don't know. When you create something evil, it just gets more and more evil, more and more silly. And pretty soon, even low-class, low-IQ people go, shit, this sucks, and they resign. So anyway, I don't know if he goes to the temple and sits on the women's side, the men's side, or maybe the transgender are in the middle. I don't know if the lesbians both sit on the same side, the women's side. I don't know where all these people are going to sit, and you know what? Neither does the Mormon Church. Jesus Christ knows where they sit. We all sit in the front row equally. men, women, sexual orientation, rich, poor, black, white, old, young. Jesus knows where we sit. We all sit in the front row. It's the Mormon authorities that are having a hard time trying to figure out where humans sit in the endowment session. So I'm going to go ahead and go online. I'll hit Amazon, and I'll try to get a copy of the dresses that he wore. And I don't know if he had blonde wigs, black wigs, I don't know. But I could get some makeup, and then I may reapply to the Mormon church again, get rebaptized, and then try to get a temple recommend as a cross-dresser. There's long precedent and long history, and the prophet of the church, his family and son, got temple recommends as a cross-dresser. And you know the thing that the Mormon church goes crazy about? If you sin and it's quiet and nobody knows about it, they can kind of forgive you a little bit. But if you stand up on a stage for 15 or 20 years and make fun of their religion, they're going to excommunicate you. He never got excommunicated. They loved him. Brigham Young thought he was great. He would never get a temple recommend today in the Mormon church. So, let me end this. I'm going to go to Amazon and see if I can find some dresses and wigs. Maybe get back into the church. What do you think?